Hey, I'm Olivia, and you're listening to Soarin Around WDW. Hey everybody, and welcome back to this week's episode of Soarin Around WDW. I am joined again by my husband Maddie to finalize our recap of Disneyland. So today we are going to go through everything that we did over in Disneyland, what worked, what didn't work, as well as answer our listener questions that we had from Instagram. So thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you, Maddie, for coming back one last time for this series here.
Thanks for having me one last time.
So, wanted to start off by saying that Disneyland was a great experience, but it was definitely, we noticed a lot of differences, obviously, between Disney World and Disneyland. Some of them we favored in the Disneyland category, some we favored in the Disney World category. So, we'll kind of talk about that at the end. But to start off, kind of recapping the actual day, we got to security similarly around like 7 o'clock or so, left the hotel around 6:30. Got through security and to the line for the turnstiles by 7. And we actually got let into the park at about 7:20 or so. So we scanned in, went through, and lined up. And we had a little bit of a different rope drop strategy for this park than probably most people. Most people, from what I've read, either rope drop Space Mountain or they go back to Rise the Resistance. So the place that we stood for rope drop was over closer to Frontierland, and there were a lot of people there who were utilizing that pathway to get around to Galaxy's Edge. There also was a good group of people over at Tomorrowland to rope drop Space Mountain. However, we wanted to rope drop Big Thunder because that is one of my favorite rides of all time at both parks, and Eiley loves it as well. We weren't sure if she was going to love Space Mountain there or not because she did it at Disneyland in March and didn't necessarily love it. But we decided Big Thunder was one we were going to want to do more than once. Again, we did have Lightning Lane Multipass that we had already purchased. And so we actually chose Space Mountain as our first Lightning Lane and planned to rope drop Big Thunder. So unlike California Adventure, where our plan went totally askew, everything worked out great, and Big Thunder was basically a walk-on, right, Maddie?
Yeah.
And so we went right up there, and we were going to do rider swap, and they said, oh, we don't have it open quite yet, but just stand here and we'll swap you in once they come back around. So Maddie and Eiley went first, and she loved it, right?
Yeah, she had a fantastic time.
What did you think of their Big Thunder compared to ours?
I don't recall there being too much of a difference.
Yeah, there were a lot of differences.
I don't know. I guess I don't know. It seemed pretty comparable.
Like the explosions with the dynamite and like that whole sequence was different. They had a lot of little like updates. It's especially sounds, which they might be doing to ours now that they are doing this big refurbishment right now at Big Thunder and Magic Kingdom. But do you love Big Thunder? Do you like Big Thunder? Do you think it's fine? Like, where are you at in the Big Thunder?
I like it. It's, definitely a top ride, particularly when it comes to, magic at Disney World.
So do you like Disney World or Disneyland's better?
I don't know. I think to me they're comparable.
Really?
I don't see like significant differences, I guess.
So it's funny, when I talked to Regan about this, he was like, oh, Disneyland is way better. It's like one of the best rides at Disneyland. And I was like, it is one of the best rides at Disneyland, but I think Disney World's is way better. And the reason I think Disney World's is better is because of the view of the castle, mostly when you get to the highest drop. And I just think like panoramically you can see a lot more at Disney World. Now that's about to change with the Rivers of America going away. You're not going to have as much of an eye line of, all of that. But Disneyland seems to just kind of be like tucked in there. It just seems smaller. It didn't seem, it didn't seem shorter. It just seemed like a more cramped space, but I still loved it. I love the updates and what they did with the sounds, the noise, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do at Magic Kingdom. But yeah, definitely top ride. I think that's actually my favorite ride at Disneyland in general. And then, yeah, one of my top rides of all time at Disney. Well, maybe not my favorite ride at Disneyland, but it's in my top 3. So we did that first. And then we decided to do something for Blake because she's not tall enough to go on Big Thunder. So we knew we wanted to kind of head towards Fantasyland and knock that stuff out, which ended up being a great decision because we got on a lot in Fantasyland really quickly. But one bummer was we had hoped to start off with Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, and unfortunately it was down for, whatever reason. It hadn't opened on time that morning. So we went actually first to Alice in Wonderland, where we waited maybe 5 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't super long. And then we went from Alice in Wonderland onto the teacups because, again, just walked right on. And the kids loved it. But what you thought their teacups were a lot slower, right? Like harder to turn.
Yeah, so hard. My forearms hurt after that ride.
Yeah. So he was trying to spin us super fast, and it just wasn't. I don't know if it was our teacup or just the ride, but Magic Kingdom, you can whip it.
Yeah.
And this one, he was struggling. But the kids had a blast. I mean, literally, when you talk about Disney magic, the video of our kids on the teacups is like Disney magic to me. They're just both laughing, enjoying it, having the time of their lives. I love the teacups at Disneyland. I think it's just, really awesome. It would never work in Florida because it's not covered, so it'd be closed all the time. But I love the lanterns and the way that they have theirs. I do miss the teacup mouse at Magic Kingdoms when I'm there. But yeah, it's just classic, awesome Disney ride. And then we headed over to Snow White's Enchanted Wish, which you said you don't think you'd ever been on, right?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so back obviously in Disney World, they used to have Snow White's Scary Adventures, and they got rid of it a long time ago to replace it with the Princess Fairy Tale Hall, which if you've been a listener of the show for a while, you know how I feel about that. It really made me mad to swap this dark ride for a meet and greet. But anyways, this ride, it was classic Disney dark ride. I felt like all the dark rides were really cool in Fantasyland, but it was so fast. It's you're on it and then you're off it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were fast.
Felt very speedy. And then when we were walking from Snow White over to Pinocchio, we saw Captain Hook kind of just wandering around. And that was also just a thing at Disneyland that I've heard. But again, you don't know if you never really go there that much, that characters just wander there a lot. We saw a lot of characters just walking from place to place and waving at people and maybe going to meet and greet, maybe going to, I don't know, somewhere else. But yeah, it was really cool. So we went on Pinocchio after that, and we had never been on that one before. But again, another cute dark ride. You've seen Pinocchio, right? The movie?
I feel like it's been a long time.
Yeah, Eileen's never seen it. So it's not one we watch super often, but it was cute to see. And then we headed over to Dumbo, which is one that I, think is fine. The kids really love it. And that one had a little bit more of a wait, maybe 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
It was starting to get a little bit busier in the park. My timestamp on that ride says 9:13, so the park opened at 8. So we had gotten on, a lot of rides in a little over an hour. We did Big Thunder, Alice, Snow White, Pinocchio, and then Dumbo. So 5 rides, very quickly, and Teacup, so 6 rides. And then we decided to head over to Pirates because it wasn't quite time. I kept bumping back our Space Mountain Lightning Lane because we, again, wanted to utilize getting there early in the slow lines. So I had bumped that back, and we were all right, let's go over to Pirates. There's basically, it's basically a walk-on. Again, I think we only waited, 5 minutes?
It was another short wait, too, yeah.
And Pirates was one, if you didn't listen to our pre-trip episode, we did not get to go on last time because it was, not open. They were doing a refurbishment on it. And so I was really looking forward to this, and it delivered. What did you think about their Pirates?
It was good.
Did you like theirs better than ours at Magic Kingdom?
I think I did.
What did you like about it?
I don't know. It just seemed like there was more content in it.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely more content. I really liked the beginning part when you're kind of going through the bayou. I see why the restaurant would be, cool to eat at. But it just seemed to have a little bit more story to it.
Yeah, definitely.
And then the ending, too, was really cool, which are just pieces we don't have because ours, you don't have to go under the railroad tracks. So there was a little bit more time. It just felt, I don't know, I really, really enjoyed it. So it felt like ours was a snippet of theirs, but theirs was the entire story. So that might have been my favorite attraction all day, actually. And I just, for whatever reason, have a thing for Pirates. I really love the Pirates rides.
It's a good ride.
Yeah, the franchise itself, the movie, it's all really good. And then we went over and walked to the castle and had asked some random people to take our picture with the castle. turned out fine. I wish, like, now I, like, wish I would have asked another person to take more, but I didn't want to, like, offend the first person who took them. They're fine. But it is just funny, like, every time I see that castle, I'm like, it's just so tiny. And
it is tiny.
you walk in and you go down Main Street and you're just like, wow, it's so small. So I know, like, a lot of people say that, and a lot of Disneyland people get super offended, but it just looks so different than Magic Kingdom's castle. When you're walking down Main Street, you can barely see it. So from there, we went over to Tomorrowland, and it was time for the Space Mountain Lightning Lane. So this was at about 10 o'clock. And so Maddie took Eiley on Space Mountain, and then I took Blake on Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters, which had no wait at all. So Blake and I, similarly to when Maddie took Eiley at DCA, we went on Astro Blasters 3 times in a row. And you guys went on Space Mountain. So what did you think of their Space Mountain compared to ours?
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely like how you can sit side by side. I think that's a great feature. Again, I feel like similar to Pirates, it just felt like there was a little bit more. Mm-hmm. But it's been a long time since I've been on Space Mountain and Magic Kingdom. So
really,
again, to me, it just felt very comparable. Again, like maybe a little bit more content, but it felt similar.
That's funny. See, I think their Space Mountain is so much better. I actually think it's smoother. It didn't seem to hurt my back as much. And I agree, side by side is just better, which I knew that going in because I thought the same thing the last time we went, but definitely confirmed that I liked it better. And Eiley did better. She went on it again with me. She liked it better than Magic Kingdom's. And I think a lot of that has to do with the side by side thing for sure. And so then you had taken Blake on Astro Blasters. What did you think of Astro Blasters compared to our Buzz Lightyear?
It was terrible. So bad.
So tell them why. What about the experience was?
I lost to a 2-year-old multiple times.
And you were trying.
And I was trying.
Yeah. So I don't know if, like, maybe you're like, well, you didn't. You said more than once you lost to her.
Yeah, that ride is terrible. Do not go on that ride if you're at Disneyland.
So it's funny. People say, like, because the target lights up when you hit it, like, it's easier to know, which I guess is true. But yeah, I feel like maybe we just know where to shoot more in Magic Kingdom. Like, our scores were kind of trash.
That machine's just broken.
Yeah. Yeah, Maddie did not have a good experience with Astro Blasters. But yeah, I thought it was fun. I thought it was cute. I'm glad they have it. Our kids love Toy Story, so it was a good one. And then we went to Pizza Planet for lunch while I went and ordered the food, and you guys went on the Nemo submarine voyage, Finding Nemo, submarine voyage. So I hate that ride. So I was like, I'm not going to go on it. I'm going to go get food. And what did you think going on it the second time? Did you like it as much as you did initially?
No.
Yeah. You talked that up in your head for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. I hyped that one up way too much.
So you'd be fine never going on it again.
Yeah, I'd be fine not going on it again.
And I will only go on it if it's a challenge thing. Like, I really do not like it. So while they were there, I ordered the food, and I did get the Alien Pizza Planet macaroon. And that was a special thing for the 70th. It was a macaroon cookie filled with buttercream frosting. And it had little chocolate eyeballs and a little chocolate hat. And it was delicious. This was probably my favorite snack of the entire trip. It was way bigger than I thought. I posted a picture on stories and Instagram, but I will post another one for, when I post our snack review on Instagram, as well as like an actual post instead of just a story. But it was really good. You didn't try it, did you? And you're not a big like sweets guy, so I don't know if you would have liked it as much. But Eiley, Blake, and I all loved it, and I wish that I would have had another one to like take home with us because it was that good. So yeah, definitely recommend. It's only like $8, and I feel like you get a lot for the $8, but that could just be me. Then we walked over to Haunted Mansion, and we did this as a lightning lane. And so this was our next lightning lane pick after Space Mountain. Actually, that's not true. We picked Space Mountain. Our 2-hour timer went up. I picked Indiana Jones, and then I picked Haunted Mansion next. So Indiana Jones wasn't until later in the afternoon because that one sells out quicker. So again, your top 2 lightning lane choices for Disneyland are either going to be Space Mountain or Indiana Jones. So if you want to ride both, usually people pick Indiana Jones first because Space Mountain seems to be a lot longer in the day, like that it's available compared to Indiana Jones, but we didn't have a problem getting either. I think our initial Indiana Jones return time was like 2 o'clock, but then I kept bumping it back for reasons that I will explain here soon. But yeah, so we went to Haunted Mansion, did it with a lightning lane. And again, we talked about this in the pre-trip episode. We had been on this the last time. I just love their Haunted Mansion. I think, again, the outside is better to me. And I actually thought the ride was better, which I don't remember thinking that the first time, but I really liked theirs.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think theirs is better than Disney World.
And I think just that whole outdoor decor part is really cool. The fact that it's an actual elevator you're going down in is pretty cool. So overall, yeah, I really love that attraction. And I hope, Dad can get over there because he never got to go on that while he was there, I believe. Well, I'm pretty sure that's what he said in his episode. So he needs to get over there because that's his favorite ride ever at Disney World. I'd love to hear his thoughts on the comparison. But then we went right next door to Winnie the Pooh, which is really close over there in Bayou Country or Critter Country, whatever they're calling it these days. And that was cute. Everything here, I think what the theme was for Disneyland for me, besides the characters being around and available everywhere, it was just like outside cues. Like everything was like kind of hot in the sun, outdoor cues compared to Disney World. Like I feel like Disney World has a lot more indoor air conditioned cues, or at least like shaded. But like Pooh was outside, a lot of Haunted Mansion was outside. I don't know, a lot of the things in Fantasyland were outside, not necessarily covered for most of it. Don't you think? Or not?
I guess I wasn't really paying attention because we were fortunate enough to have a lot of lightning lanes for everything.
Yeah, we were.
It didn't really bother me.
So we did not have a lightning lane for Pooh initially, I don't think. Well, no, maybe we did have a lightning lane for it.
I don't think we did.
But it wasn't a very long wait.
Didn't seem like.
And then I do think our Pooh is better. Do you have strong opinion one way or the other?
No.
I like the storybook pages of our Pooh ride. So I like the way that it's like very similar to the movie. You have the storybook pages, but there were a couple of cute little animatronics in theirs that I thought were good, but I did miss ours when I was on it. And I don't think we went on this one last time. I think this was a new one for us as well. But I'm not going to say we. I am a big Winnie the Pooh girl. Eileen's nursery when she was little was classic Winnie the Pooh. I love Pooh. So I really like going on that ride there just to get the comparison and get to see it. But it wasn't my favorite, that's for sure. And then at this point, Maddie, you decided to take Blake back to do a nap at the hotel because we thought we're going to be here till midnight. It's going to be super late. So explain what happened with the nap situation.
Yeah, so we got super fortunate that day that there was I don't know if it was a monthly or an annual fire alarm test just at the time where she had fallen asleep. So it was terrible.
Yeah, so Maddie texts me and he's like, hey, the fire alarms are going off. Can you please call the front desk and see, like, what is going on? Because they've been going off. And I was like, well, first of all, number one, are you sure it's not an actual fire? And you're like, yeah, they said, like, this is a drill. I'm like, okay. So I call the front desk of the Hilton and I'm like, hi, you guys are doing a drill. You've been texting us about everything under the sun. Like, how's your stay? Do you need more towels? Do you need housekeeping? But you didn't feel the need to text us and say, we're doing a fire drill and it will be from this time to this time approximately or something, because basically you would not have walked back, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't have done it. It was like a waste of time.
Like you would have just let her nap in the stroller because she ended up napping what, like 30 minutes?
Something like that. Yeah, it was so bad.
And you like had her in the bathroom with the white noise on trying to like drown out the...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the fire alarm.
Yeah.
It was just terrible.
So
bad.
Yeah, poor Maddie and Blake. And so Eileen and I stayed, though, at the park. So when they left and they took the stroller back, we got on the train because we have never ridden the Walt Disney World Railroad over at, or I guess it's called Disneyland Railroad at Disneyland. We had never ridden that before. We did not get to do that last time we were there. I don't remember if it was closed or what, but we took that over to the Toontown area. And Eileen and I went and we did a couple of things in Toontown. We went on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which we did not have a lightning lane for. but the wait was like I think 25 minutes, so not too bad. And I have heard from a lot of people that their queue is the best part of this ride, and I agree. I loved the queue. I'm glad that we didn't have a lightning lane because we got to see a lot of it. So I loved all the little movie poster spoofs, High School Goofical, and then Miska Muska for like Hocus Pocus. Highly loved, all the different little props, quote unquote, that they had for movies in there. And I just think that this ride, I don't love it in Hollywood Studios because it took over one of my favorite rides, the Great Movie Ride, but it fits so much better in Toontown. Like, I wish they would have just put it in Fantasyland in Magic Kingdom and not use the space in Hollywood Studios where Great Movie Ride was. But I digress. It's already done. It doesn't necessarily matter. But the ride, was pretty much the same as Hollywood Studios. It was cute. We liked it. And then we went from there to meet Mickey at his house, which that was another like 25-minute wait. So a little longer than I would have liked to wait. But the problem there is that it was kind of like dark-ish, and their pictures of her with Mickey are fine. My pictures are all kind of like blurry because it was a little bit dark, but it was fine. He was in a cute little, like, I don't even know what to call it, like conductor's outfit or something. So I wish that he was in like his traditional outfit. But anyways, it was fine. And then we went to Minnie's house, which was a much shorter wait, like 10 minutes. And she loved that. She loved going through Minnie and Mickey's house. She never got to do that in Magic Kingdom, obviously, because that was long gone by the time she went there. Did you ever do that in Toontown? Probably not as a kid, like go through Mickey and Minnie's house and meet them.
No.
Yeah. It used to be back where like now Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and stuff, like past like where the new Dumbo is actually, basically.
I gotcha.
Back there in Magic Kingdom. But yeah, it was cute. She enjoyed it. And then Pete was out and had no line, so we went and met Pete. And then we headed back over to Fantasyland. We did Mr. Toad, which was finally reopened, but then unfortunately closed again. So you never got on Mr. Toad this trip, right?
Nope, I was kind of upset.
Yeah, because that's like one of your favorite rides. And then we did the walkthrough of the castle, which we had never done. I think this is another thing that people really hype up. And I don't know if we just like missed something, but I thought it was cute. It was like better than nothing in there, but I didn't really think it was like something that I felt like, ooh, I like got to see this secret thing and it was really cool. I don't know. I thought it was fine. And when we came out, I was like, okay, I need to go get a Disneyland churro because everybody says Disneyland churros are the absolute best snack in all of Disneyland. So I was like determined to get one. I wanted to get a regular one and a 70th one, but to be honest, I was actually still very full from lunch. And so I didn't feel like I had the space to eat two. So we ended up just getting a regular churro right outside of the castle. And guys, again, this is something that like people hype up. They're like, the churros at Disneyland, the churros at Disneyland. I thought it was good, that it was fine. I did not think that it was like amazing. I would be fine never eating one again in my life. It just wasn't for me. But then after we left, I heard the churro toffee is where it's at. So I don't know. I would try that, but I'm kind of like done with churros. It was okay. But Mary Poppins was out there in front of the castle with Bert, and so we got to see them do a little show, which was really cute. And we stood there and watched it, ate our churro, and then we did some shopping over in the shops on Main Street. By that point, Maddie was like, all right, we're on our way back. And we were like, okay, we had our lightning lane for Big Thunder at that time. So we went ahead and did another round of Big Thunder. I did it first with Eiley, and then we did Rider Swap, and Maddie did it the next time with Eiley again. And we decided to go ahead and head over to do our lightning lane for Indiana Jones. And this was about 5 o'clock or so. So Maddie came back to the park around 4. We went over to Indiana Jones. Maddie did that while I took the girls on Jungle Cruise. And I guess my kids have never been on Jungle Cruise. They both were kind of like, what is this? Eiley's like, this was dumb. She did not appreciate it at all. I thought it was cute. I thought the skipper did a really great job, but it was just funny. Eiley was not into it. I did like the Jungle Cruise there better than Disney World. But what did you think about Indiana Jones?
That was the top ride.
Was that your favorite?
At Disneyland?
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, that ride, I mean, it starts slow, but then it picks up in the middle of the ride, and it's fantastic.
It reminds me of the Mummy a little bit, like crossed with
Yeah,
Dinosaur
I guess, yeah, I could see that.
at Universal, the
Yeah,
Mummy
I
ride.
could see that for sure.
But yeah, I thought it was really cool. I think last time we went on this, I don't know why, I like don't remember really liking it. And so I was kind of like, all right, yeah, I'll go on it, whatever. Eiley wasn't tall enough. So Maddie went, I took the kids on Jungle Cruise, then I went. And what did you do? Oh, you went on Pirates again with the kids because we just got another lightning lane because we were like, at this point, might as well. We have lightning lanes to spare. So and I liked it a lot better. It made me very excited for the ride coming to Animal Kingdom. So I'm pumped to see what they do with that, especially because it's not going to be a carbon copy of the Disneyland ride. It'll have its own theme. But I thought it was really well done. I liked it, and I definitely like it better than Dinosaur. So I'm excited for that. And they were still on Pirates, so I went ahead and walked through the Swiss Family Robinson treehouse, which I've done many, many times at Magic Kingdom. But the last time we were at Disneyland, the treehouse was still Tarzan's treehouse. So we walked up there last time. I actually have a picture or two from when we went in it back then. But yeah, it was cute to see it now. It made me sad because they were talking about doing this whole revival show on Disney Plus of Swiss Family Robinson. And then as far as I know, it's either canceled or still on hold. But I hope they do because I loved that book as a kid and that movie. Have you seen the original?
Mm-mm.
You haven't? But you read the book, right? Illustrated Classics version of Swiss Family Robinson?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I can't remember.
Oh, I thought we talked about that. After this, it was time for our dinner reservations, and we had dinner at the River Belle Terrace, and we did the standard Fantasmic dining package because I really did not want to stress out about finding a spot for Fantasmic. So we got there, and Blake was like, over it. She was exhausted because she didn't really nap and she was having like a total meltdown. But luckily she calmed down and we got through dinner. But what did you think about the restaurant, the experience, the food?
Well, the thing I got was it wasn't quite what I expected. But everything leading up to that was good. And then
what did you order?
I don't remember. There was like some. It was almost like a.
Was it grits?
No, it was like some sort of like vegetable ricey dish.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But and then it had like almost like a tomato puree that was kind of sauce.
Was there meat in it?
I don't recall there being in it. It was not what I was thinking it to be.
What did you get as your starter?
I got a salad.
Okay, and then I got the chicken pot pie soup. That was good.
That was I had the kids, and that was solid because they didn't want it. And then what else did we get?
Then I got the fried chicken, mashed potatoes, and green beans. And I think I switched it out. It was supposed to be broccolini, but I switched it for green beans. That was delicious. You tried some of the chicken. You said it was really good.
Yeah, I think that was good.
And then for dessert, I got the red velvet cake, and you got the key lime.
Key lime tart. And
the kids got the pudding, right? The cheesecake or like house pudding or whatever. And the kids got, I think, mac and cheese, right? For
something like that,
and fruit or something like that. But yeah, it was delicious. They were kind enough because Blake was not 3 and did not need a ticket, quote unquote, for Fantasmic. They let us go ahead and let the kids split a meal. So, which was great because our kids never eat, a normal size meal ever. We almost always have them share, and we had been snacking throughout the day. So that was very nice of them. So they let us split. If you are a Disney Visa card holder, this does have a 10% discount. So that was very nice as well. All in all, I think it was worth it. And it was smaller portions of food, I heard, than what you get if you just went to the restaurant and ordered and didn't do the dining package. But that was fine. I was full afterwards. Were you?
Yeah, I was for sure.
Yeah, so it was good. And the cake that they gave me was like a huge piece of cake. It did not seem smaller than the normal piece. It was massive, so we did not finish all of that. But yeah, it was really good. So after we finished there, we were supposed to go on Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and we had a lightning lane for it. And this is a mom guilt thing if you didn't see my stories post. Basically, Eiley really wanted to take Maddie on Tiana's. He hasn't been on it yet. And I was like, okay, well, we'll do Lightning Lane. If you want to go again, then I will go again with you. I bought ponchos like specifically for it because the last time we went on Splash Mountain, we got absolutely soaked at Disneyland. So I bought ponchos. I was prepared. And then we had brought long sleeve clothes to change into at night, like pants and longer sleeves because it gets chilly there at night. And so we kept telling her, like, okay, we're going to do it after dinner because we don't want to change into these long sleeve clothes if we get soaked and be sweating our butts off during the day in the sun. So we were like, we'll do it after dinner. We'll do it after dinner. We have a lightning lane. We have a lightning lane. And then we get to dinner and I looked at Maddie and I'm like, dude, Tiana's just broke down. And he was like, oh no. So we kind of tried to stall, and unfortunately Eileen can tell time. So she had asked what time our lightning lane was, and I think I said like 7 or whatever. And so she was like, what time is it? What time is it? And like looking at my phone, and she's like, wait, it's 7. It's time for Tiana's. Like, let's go on Tiana's. And I was like, oh, we're gonna go on Small World first. So we like had a lightning lane for Small World, did that, got off. And she's like, okay, guys, time for Tiana's. And we were hoping maybe it would come back up, but it didn't come back up. But were you sad about it not coming back up?
Because it was late at night, I did not want to get wet. I did not want to get soaked. But I was looking forward to. I haven't been on that ride, even Splash Mountain, in a very long time. So it would have been, just kind of bringing back some memories from when I was a kid.
Yeah, it was a bummer that we didn't get to do it. But because we had a lightning lane for it and it went down, we got a lightning lane like multiple experience pass. So we got to pick whatever ride we wanted besides Rise of the Resistance to use our lightning lane for. And so we told her and she was kind of like, what? Oh no, Dad hasn't been on it. But then we're like, but you get to pick whatever ride you want to ride again. And she's like, can we do Big Thunder again? And we were like, sure. So she got to do Big Thunder a total of 6 times. She loves that ride. And it was fun. I mean, I'm glad we got to do that one again.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
It was a good one. So yeah, we did Small World, walked back over and did Big Thunder one more time. And then it was time to go get our spot for Fantasmic. So we went to Fantasmic, and of course, as soon as we get over there, freaking Tiana's came back up, but we didn't even tell her. We're like, all right, we're done. It's dark. We're not gonna go get all wet. Like, it's fine. So we sat down for Fantasmic, and my kids love Fantasmic. Eiley especially. I love Fantasmic, as y'all know. So we were really looking forward to this, but I do remember I kind of cautioned Eiley, like, it's not as good in my eyes, but there's some different things. I think you'll like it. And it was even different than the last time we saw it at Disneyland. The last time we were there, the pirate ship part was Pirates of the Caribbean, not Peter Pan. I should have said spoiler alert, but sorry, spoiler alert. And there were a couple of different like changes in the middle that they did with like Aladdin and Jasmine and some different things that were new, but it just is not as good, you guys. It's just not as good. If you are a Disneyland person and you've never been to Disney World's Fantasmic, you have to go to Disney World. It's so much better. Just the seating situation. I hate sitting on the ground. I like that everybody's sitting. So like everyone, it's not like the fireworks where half the time your kid can't see or everybody's kids are on their shoulders. Like, it's a pretty fair playing ground. But because of the, guardrails or, barriers to keep you off of out of the river for Tom Sawyer's Island, the Rivers of America area, you can't see everything. It's really hard to take pictures or videos, and it's just not the same. And then the whole part, of it all, the different things that they have, like some of the things are better. I like that they have, again, spoiler alert, so if you don't want to know what they have, fast forward like a minute, but I like that they have Rapunzel instead of Snow White, because I think Rapunzel's a better princess. Sorry, Snow White was the first, but I really liked the Rapunzel part. I still loved their boat scene at the end. All the characters on it were great. But their Mickey at the end with Maleficent, it just felt like it went on forever. And it was like Mickey and then Maleficent and Mickey and then Maleficent. But like, because of the fire, she doesn't turn into the dragon. She doesn't go up on a riser. It's just like them fighting for like 2 very long minutes. And then all of a sudden she's gone. And then, the Some Imagination, at Disneyland, like, that's it. Like he's at the end. I don't know. It's not as magical to me. But what did you think of it? Because I know you're like could care less about seeing Fantasmic one more time in your life. But what did you think about theirs?
Yeah, I thought it was not as good as Disney World's.
Yeah,
for sure.
Even as someone who doesn't necessarily care about nighttime shows.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think they're really even comparable.
So our goal for nighttime was to see Fantasmic and to see Paint the Night. Fireworks, while they're beautiful, I love fireworks. Again, I'm sorry, their castle is dinky, so I really did not care about being in front of the castle and seeing their fireworks. I love their song that they use, the Wondrous Journey song. It's very cute. I loved that you could sit in your Fantasmic spot and watch the projections and still see the fireworks. Like, that is really, really cool. So we were gonna sit and watch them, and then I was getting very nervous about not getting a Main Street spot for Paint the Night. So we actually kind of watched them as we walked. Next time I would stay put. But we went and we basically found a spot at Casey's Corner. So my advice to you who want to do all three, or whose priority is Fantasmic and Paint the Night, do the first Fantasmic show, do a dining package if you can, but if not, you're just gonna have to get there earlier and sit for a little while, because people were camped out for the first Paint the Night and for the first Fantasmic like hours early, which is crazy. That's another thing I like about Fantasmic at Hollywood Studios is you can get there early, but you really don't need to get there more than like an hour early. Anything more than that, you don't get let into the stadium. So, but anyways, yeah. So my advice for Hollywood is actually the opposite. It's like go to the later show if you can. But for this one, go to the earlier the earlier Fantasmic, and then either sit there, watch Wondrous Journeys from there, and then walk over to Main Street, or walk over to Main Street, go in the shops for a little bit until the fireworks end. And once everybody kind of shifts out of the park or shifts back towards the rides, park it right there on Main Street. And we sat down on the curb at like 10:03, and Paint the Night was at 10:45 or something like that. And so we did have to sit there for a while, but our kids were asleep in the stroller, which was another thing that I had said. If our kids would have fallen asleep during the first Paint the Night parade and we did the second Fantasmic, you can't keep them in the stroller for Fantasmic. You have to take them out. They have to be sitting on the ground. And so I didn't want to have to deal with that and like holding tired children. So I'm glad we did it the way we did it, but they literally slept through the entire Paint the Night, which is crazy.
It was kind of crazy how they were able to do that.
And Eileen's like, I didn't hear anything. And it was so loud.
So loud.
Like, I mean, I thought it was loud awake as an adult. I can't imagine as a kid.
Yeah.
But so yeah, the fireworks we like kind of ish saw, but then we sat right on Main Street for Paint the Night, and this parade got a lot of hype. I grew up as a Spectro Magic kid, and did you ever see a nighttime parade at Disney?
Mm-mm.
So this was your first experience with that.
Yep.
And again, Maddie's not like a parade person. What did you think of it?
That was okay.
Yeah, I also thought it was okay. I feel like I'm gonna get totally chastised for this. I thought it was okay. I thought it was good. I'm looking forward to the new Magic Kingdom nighttime parade, but I loved Spectro Magic. So again, I don't know if it was just like a tainted thing. There were some really cool parts, and the kids next to us were going wild.
They're excited.
They loved it. They were singing every single word, clapping, screaming the words, waving, hi, Buzz, hi, Woody, hi, Tinkerbell, hi, Mickey, like screaming, so excited. So their joy like brought me more joy, but I just like really didn't super get the hype behind this parade. Like, it's cool, but if your kids are exhausted and you need to go back to the room, like, I really don't think you're missing that much.
Mm-mm.
Right?
No.
Like, I feel like I would have been fine staying for Fantasmic, seeing the fireworks as we walked out, and like have left for the night.
Mm-hmm.
Again, yeah, it was okay. Sorry guys, I know that's going to be a very hot take, but yeah, it wasn't my favorite. My favorite float out of the whole thing was probably Mickey at the end, but I also really liked Slinky and all the Toy Story characters. That was really cool. But yeah, it was not my favorite thing, that's for sure. So after that, we headed back over to the room and crashed. We did a very long park day with Maddie and Blake, very minimal nap. For Eiley and I, no nap. And so we were there literally until, basically park close. Mm-hmm. And the way that Paint the Night runs is the first show, it goes from the Small World area through to Main Street. But on the second show, it goes from Main Street back through Small World. So if you want to get out sooner, you're going to want to be on Main Street. If you want to stay longer, you're going to want to be in Fantasyland closer to Small World. So I don't know what the Small World area was like as far as like trying to find a spot or seating. But Main Street, again, if you wait until everybody kind of shifts out after the fireworks, it was not terrible to find a spot. But we did have to sit there for like 45 minutes. So that's just something to kind of keep in mind, and definitely suggest having the stroller for your kids for them to fall asleep. So that was our extremely busy day at Disneyland. So overall, what did you think of the Disneyland day?
I thought it was a solid day. I enjoyed it from really start to finish. So I don't think there were really any big like complaints or downside to the day.
Yeah, and I didn't really speak to, there were quite a few breakdowns. So we did talk about Mr. Toad, but then like at one point Space Mountain went down, Tiana's went down. But then when Eiley and I were in Toontown, like Roger Rabbit's went down twice. Small World went down for most of the day. So I'm glad we got on that. I actually didn't mention, but I like their Small World way better. And that's one, I think it was closed last time. We didn't go on it last time either way. Their Small World, it's incredible. That was one of my favorite rides of the entire day. I loved it.
Yeah, it was good.
So it's one that at Disney World, I'm like, don't really care about it, but I won't miss it again at Disneyland. It was great. So, yeah, what would you say your top 3 rides were at Disneyland?
Probably Indiana Jones was 1.
Mm-hmm.
Pirates was 2.
Okay.
And trying to think. I guess just because it has a lot of nostalgic to it, since it was the first ever roller coaster that I went on, and I was horrified of roller coasters for about 10 or 11 years after it. Probably Space Mountain is my 3rd.
More than Big Thunder?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for me, the top 3 rides here were, I would definitely have to say Pirates was number 1 for me. That was really, really cool to see. I loved it. Number 2 for me is going to be Big Thunder. And I'm going to put Small World at number 3, which is like something I never thought I'd say. But I really liked it. But it's hard for me to pick. I loved Indiana Jones. That was great. I love Mr. Toad's. That was also great. But yeah, I think Small World was just like,
it was good.
Really cool.
Yeah,
and
that was cool.
We had just been at the Mary Blair exhibit at the Walt Disney Family Museum, and that's a ride that was like her baby. So getting to see it and seeing the whole inside was really, really awesome. So I enjoyed that. So as far as like the way that the planning worked versus what actually happened, I mean, I feel like we got to do pretty much everything we wanted to do in Disneyland besides Tiana's.
Yeah.
And again, we were not focused on doing Galaxy's Edge at all because we have that in Florida and we're not huge Star Wars people. I loved Rise of the Resistance, but I wasn't going to pay a lot of extra money for us to do a single pass for it. And I wasn't going to rope drop that with everybody else. I wanted to utilize that time in the morning to get things done that we didn't have over at Disney World. So yeah, I would say that worked out well, don't you think? Like, we got a lot done in the morning.
Got a lot done, yeah.
And I think going back for a nap for you would have been better had the fire alarm situation not been bad. Yeah. But next time, I think if we were to go again, we either wouldn't stay as long or we would do rides during Paint the Night and not worry so much about that. But I would still probably watch Fantasmic again, would you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We still love it. I still love the music. It's still really cool. Our kids are still really into the show. So overall, that is kind of, all the planning paid off. Pay for the lightning lane. Wouldn't you say that's like one of the themes of the trip?
Yep.
Like, people
don't even question it.
Don't spend more money on a nicer hotel or parking or whatever, I don't know. The lightning lane multi-pass is worth it. And
spend the money.
Yeah, the lines weren't crazy. Like, we could have done without it, but we got to ride so much more. If you want to get rides done and you have kids who love to ride rides, like, that is the way. I mean, what other way could you ride Big Thunder Mountain 6 times?
Yeah.
Like, it was awesome, and Eiley loved it. And I just think like it's gonna be really hard for me to go to any park except for maybe Animal Kingdom without multipass now.
Yeah.
It's worth the money.
Don't
So
overthink it.
that's,
Just do it.
yeah, kind of our advice there. So some questions from our listeners. So first question is from Castlebound_Jana, who is actually part of the Backlot Tours podcast. So little plug for them. If you don't listen to their podcast already, go ahead and go listen to Zach and Jana on that podcast. It's really fun. They actually just went on the Disney Treasure, one of the new cruise ships, and did a week-long Caribbean cruise and had some good insight into that. And that was their first Disney cruise. But anyway, her question for us was, what are the top 3 things not to be missed
at Disneyland?
I think like overall. So like, is it Fantasmic? Is it rides? Like, what would you say are the top Disney California Adventure? Like, what are the top 3 things that you're like, you gotta do this when you're there? And maybe make it things that are different than Disney World, because they're frequent Disney World goers.
You go first, because I need to remember what we did at California Adventures.
I know it's been a minute since we talked about it. So for me, top things that you do not want to miss: Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, you do not want, like, Pirates and Haunted I'm going to put together. Like, the classic rides, but that are definitely better at Disneyland. So I'm going to say, that's not to be missed. I think the other thing that I really love over there is the Pixar Pier area in California Adventure. Like the whole Incredicoaster, Toy Story Mania, that whole section of the park I really liked, wouldn't you say?
Mm-hmm.
And then as a third thing, not to be missed, if you're going to do Fantasmic, do a dining package so you have a reserved seat. That's the other thing that I would say. Don't miss it. But Fantasmic itself, you're a Disney goer, so I don't know. If you haven't seen it, I don't know. You probably are not gonna love it. But yeah, that's one thing that I wish we would have done that we didn't do, was make it a priority to meet Mickey and Minnie in their 70th attire. I wish we would have done that, but I wanted to shop and didn't want to wait in line again for Mickey when we just had met him not long ago. What are your like top things, would you say?
I don't know. I would say definitely Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
I just really like that ride, and I think the Incredicoaster was awesome too. Those were the two main things that really kind of stood out to me.
That were unique.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then, was there anything that we didn't get to do that you're like, I really want to do that next time we go back?
I just don't remember at all the Mr. Toad ride. I can't recall that for the sake of me.
And you love Mr. Toad.
Yeah, it's great. Like I really enjoyed the movie, so I was kind of bummed out that I didn't get to ride the ride.
Yeah, I think that's one thing too, not to be missed in general, is just like their Fantasyland in the morning. Like, get it done early, because there were like very minimal waits early in the morning because everybody was off doing the bigger rides. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and skip Nemo Submarine.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't need to do that. Yeah, so that's definitely a skip. And then another question that we had from our friends over at the Mickey in Minutes podcast, run by Nick. So, favorite 70th specific activity. So for me, my favorite part about the 70th was just all the different merch that they had. I really wish, and Nick knows this, Nick and Chelsea, they are going for the 70th here by the time this airs, they'll be there shortly after. But the Walt Disney animatronic wasn't open yet, so I really, really want to do that. So next time we go, that's going to be top of my list to do as part of the 70th. But I loved all the merch. I loved the colors. By the end of the week, I was a little bit over the Celebrate Happy song by the Jonas Brothers because we heard it like 500 times, but that is a really cute song. But yeah, I think favorite 70th specific activity was seeing all the merch, but I also really loved some of the unique snack offerings. I wish I would have gotten to do more of that. But what about you? Was there anything that stood out like specifically for the 70th?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, we didn't do a ton of like necessarily individual 70th things, just like snacks that were
Remember
unique.
there being a cool backpack.
Yeah, they had the merch. Yeah, that's like where I think most of it was really awesome was just the way they did their merch for the 70th was great.
Yeah.
And it was really colorful and fun.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it was fun to be there. I'm jealous of everybody that, when this comes out, it'll be right before the actual day, which is July 17th. And I know a lot of people are going specifically on that day for that. But that will be really cool. And seeing the wall animatronic would be so cool. So, yeah, Nick and Chelsea, we'll be listening to y'all's podcast after you go to hear all about that. But those are the questions that we got from our listeners. So thank you guys so much for writing in and doing that. And then that is really all about our trip. So overall, I'm so glad we did it. It just worked out that it was the 70th. We did not plan this because of the 70th. We were just already out there in California. But we got to do a lot of new things. We got to do some of our old favorite things. And would you go back?
Definitely.
Yeah, we're looking forward to at some point making it back over there. Obviously, Disney World is much closer, and we have family in Florida, so it's just a place that we're going to go more often. But looking forward to the changes coming to California Adventure, except for Avatar. I'm still bitter about that. I really wish they would keep Monsters Inc. But I am excited about like the Coco ride and the new stuff going into Avengers Campus. I think that will be really cool. I'm looking forward to it. If you guys have any questions about anything, logistics wise. Oh, the only thing I also wanted to say was our hotel. Would you stay there again?
I would. Yeah, I definitely would.
It was a nice hotel. It was convenient walking. There were just a few, like, the fire alarm thing, the parking. Getting out was, like, a little bit of a pain.
A little bit of a trick, yeah.
But for the most part, it was, it was a nice hotel that was, like, easy distance walking-wise to the parks.
Mm-hmm.
That was definitely worth it. But yeah, that is everything for our trip. It's sad to see that it's over. I wish that we could be back there right now. It was just so fun. And I think for me, I like Disneyland more than California Adventure because it was Walt's park, thinking about him being there in that park. Even when we first walked through security into the area, I said to Maddie, like, oh my gosh, I'm getting chills. Like, I just love the feeling of like being there, being on Disney property so much. But I guess to wrap it up too, share your thoughts about like Disneyland's layout versus Disney World.
Oh, me asking me?
Yeah.
Disneyland, 100%.
Why?
I don't know. I think it's very efficient and it's very concise, and I like that a lot. I like how everything's just kind of right there. It's all within one central location. I go right or left, and I can kind of pick what I want to do.
Yeah.
I just don't like. Some people may enjoy it. I personally don't like hopping between parks at Disney World. To me, I think it's just it's a lot.
Because it takes so much time.
I think it's just it wastes time.
But you would hop at Disneyland if we went back?
Or
did you feel like you didn't need to? I felt like we didn't need to. Like there was so much we could do at both parks that.
Yeah, man, I felt like. I don't know. I just liked the layout. I think I also I'm not a huge fan of just Orlando in general. Like the city, it's got way too much traffic and stuff. And you say Anaheim has a bunch of traffic, but it's just nice how it's all. It just feels like it's right there. I don't know.
You can
walk.
walk.
It's like right there. I know we've talked about before how the downtown Disney is not obviously as good in Anaheim as it is in Orlando. But it's just nice how it's all right there versus downtown Disney in Orlando is just a whole. And again, it's much bigger, so it has to be. But it's just I don't know. You're always having to get in a car to go here and there versus it was just nice to be able to just literally just leave the car in the hotel parking garage and just take the stroller and walk everywhere.
Yeah, because Disney World, you don't have to drive. You can do Disney transportation, but it's way quicker, obviously, at Disneyland. Like being able to walk. We're walkers, so we don't mind walking a mile to the hotel and a mile. I think Disneyland Day we walked 26,000 steps.
Yeah, that's something insane.
But yeah, but we don't mind it. I don't know. I wasn't like, oh, I wish that we didn't have to walk. I don't know. I just feel like we're walkers. We do that.
No, I enjoyed it. I just liked how everything was just right there, and I could really pick and choose. That's why I feel like I pick and choose what I want.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I still am a Disney World girly. I think part of that is just the nostalgia and memories from growing up. But I do really like Disneyland's layout as well as far as the walkability. But there's something about being in the Disney World bubble. Like you feel like you're at Disney, you're immersed in Disney. Everything is like super magical and Disney themed. And in Anaheim, it doesn't necessarily feel that way once you like walk outside to your hotel. And maybe it's because, again, we also stayed like off property. But I don't love that there's not a lot of options for hotels that are on property. They're all very expensive. Even Pixar Pier, which is more reasonable, it's still expensive. And so that's one thing Disney World has going for it, is just they have a lot more space to grow, but they also have a lot more options for on property hotels. But you haven't really stayed that much on property at Disney World. We've only done it like a couple of times. So I feel like that could change like your opinion a little bit too. But
No one.
he says no. Anyways, so what is next for us for trips? We are starting to look into our next trip to Disney World, but that won't be for a while. We're kind of taking a little bit of break from traveling. This was our big trip for the next little bit. So we don't have anything officially booked yet, but looking at something in the spring. That's when Eileen's birthday is. And last year she and I did, or earlier this year, we did her birthday trip, just her and I. But now we're at the age where next year Blake's definitely gonna know and that we're not there. This year she kind of like didn't really understand we weren't there and was just like, oh, where's mom? Oh, she's not here. Okay, but like that's not gonna work next year. So trying to figure out a time to go that works with school schedules and deals and discounts and stuff like that. But yeah, it was a great trip. I'm really glad we got to do it. It was a great way to celebrate 10 years for us for our anniversary.
It was solid.
And so thanks for going with me.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, good. Well, thanks again so much, guys, for listening. And thank you to everyone who sent in questions. We appreciate it. We appreciate all of our listeners and looking forward to hopping back on the mic with Dad here soon and getting into the rest of Animal Kingdom and our parks of the present rundown before we hit our 1-year anniversary episode here pretty soon in August. So again, take care. Thanks for listening, and we will see y'all next time. Hey, thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to give us a follow on Instagram at Soarin Around WDW Pod, where we share fun reels, throwback photos, and dive into our old versus new debates. If you're listening on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. And for our Spotify listeners, a follow and a 5-star review would mean the world. If you're listening on Apple, hit that 5-star button and leave us a written review as well. Thanks again for joining us. See you next time.